So is your father still working as a mason?
Oh no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his leg. Since he had already saved enough mora over all these years, he's just enjoying the retired.
I see. We wish him peace and happiness in his retirement. I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for some goods. We'll leave you to it. Take care now.
No problem. Rest easy, all our goods are sure to meet your every need.
This should be our final stop. Sataria's always thinking of this restaurant when she's working at the academia. So she always comes by whenever she's out in the city.
Nahida, you've really thought of everything!
It's my duty to protect Sumeru's citizens, after all.
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before.
Huh? Sorry, I don't quite remember.
If I recall, you were having a discussion with someone about shipbuilding at the time.
Ah, that's right! Really interested in feats of marine engineering. After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor and spent my entire childhood staring at the ships going in and out of the port. I came to Sumeru to study, but failed to make it into the academia due to my lack of talent. But I'm still discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars, and I'm continuing to study and perform research from the restaurant's basement. I'm sure I'll get to the academia after their next round of exams.
What an admirable spirit for learning. Amazing!
Sure, but you'll find hardworking people wherever you go.
So this restaurant has a basement as well? Huh. First I've heard of it.
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons. Most of the time, employees use it for breaks or to hold private events.
I see. Yes, that makes sense. Well, good luck with your studies, Miss Chishan.
Thank you so much. As long as I can make it into the academia as an official student, I'll be happy.
Familiar faces should be enough for Sataria.
What's the point of all the information we've collected? Nahida, you still haven't told us how you're planning to make Sataria face her problems.
Sataria is already used to avoiding her problems, so we must find a way to break through her usual sensibilities. I remember that you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormos are all making a fuss about the upcoming resurrection of the Scarlet King. Although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the fate of her homeland may turn out to be Sataria's soft spot.
Oh, Paimon gets it now! You want to take advantage of the guilt Sataria feels about her homeland. Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages. So, how do we set that up?
Well, the Scarlet King is long gone, and Sataria is also too smart to fall for any simple tricks. If we simply engaged her under the guise of the Scarlet King's believers, she would definitely be wary of us, and we may not get anywhere. But if we were to borrow some of her close acquaintances to talk with her, her reaction would probably be very different.
So, you mean you're going to possess those people we just talked to?
Yep. Possess them through the Akasha. Imply that they've already converted to the faith of the Scarlet King, and then convey our made-up will of the Scarlet King. As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Sataria for sure. She'll never guess that we had anything to do with it.
Ah, so that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people. It's so that you won't slip up and break form. Possessing them will only work if you can manage to pass off as them.
Exactly. So, best of luck with impersonating them.
Huh? Best of luck? But we don't know how to possess anyone.
That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them. As long as you're also wearing an Akasha terminal, the effect will basically be as if you've possessed them yourself.
Huh. That is pretty convenient. But why does she have to do this? Can't you do it yourself?
Although I've been observing humans for a while, I've never been good at imitating them.
You're not wrong. It's always been painfully obvious whenever you try to pass as Catherine.
If it was at all possible, I would have preferred to leave these people alone. But seeing how things are now, I probably should just accept it and push on.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. We're only doing this to help everyone, and we'll only be borrowing them for a little while anyway.
Alright, then let's give it a go tomorrow afternoon.
Here she comes! Satari is here!
Let's quietly follow her. Once she starts talking to her acquaintances, we'll find a safe spot to begin possessing them. As for how we'll sway her to our side, I'll leave that to you. I trust you'll know what to say.
Paimon's starting to feel kinda nervous. Okay, let's go. Looks like they've already started talking. Let's find a hiding spot and get started.
That's right. You really can't force anything when it comes to love. And besides, everyone around me has a very different background and outlook. Are you still listening to me, Nabia?
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking about troubles with your love life, right? I heard everything you said.
Okay then. You just seemed a little distracted for a moment there. Strange. Your cats seem pretty worked up. Is something wrong? I always thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again? Ah, that's right. They are just little darlings, aren't they? Harut and Marut.
So, which fortune do you want me to read for you today? You must have come for another echo of the divine voice of wisdom.
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like I've been a real mess recently.
A mess?
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll take me to finish my current project at work? I really just want to get it over with.
I hear you. No problem at all. The gods will reveal the truth. The gods are asking. Setaria, why haven't you gone home?
Why haven't I gone home? Do the gods really know everything I've been thinking about?
Setaria, why don't you just go home? It's a demand now instead of a question. Oh, the gods seem to be truly upset.
I'm sorry. I know I failed the gods. Please pass on my most sincere apologies and ask for their divine forgiveness. And if I may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who's speaking to you right now?
What an inconsiderate and naive question. The god who is speaking to me is, of course, the wisest and mightiest of all, the Scarlet King.
The Scarlet King? No wonder he would make such a demand of me. Oh, wait a second. The Scarlet King passed away a long time ago. Even though news of the Scarlet King's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire, it's all just a misinformation campaign from the academia. How can the Scarlet King still exist in real life?
What insolence! I am the Scarlet King's most loyal believer. Do you wish to refute his voice of wisdom?
Oh, no. As a child of the desert, I am only reveling in his power upon learning that his divine glory has touched even this city. I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry. I must go now.
Wait!
Ooh, she just ran off in a hurry. She looked pretty upset, too.
Well done. Setaria didn't seem to suspect anything amiss. To have something she's been trying desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core.
Aw, Nahida, it seems like you understand human emotions really well after all.
All I know are some abstract Harabata theories. And in any case, my time with you has shown a lot of them to be utterly useless. I'm still trying to make sense of everything. Anyway, enough of that. Let's hurry and catch up to Setaria.
He's out of teams now, right on cue. Let's get ready to possess him right away!
It's okay. I just got caught up in something. Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you looking for again? Oh, right. Your old man's craft. How could I forget? Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better? Oh, that's good to hear. I've been thinking a lot about him. If I could get some more time off, I'd love to pay him a visit. Actually, while we're talking about him, is he still living in Port Ormos?
Yeah, he's been retired there for a while.
If you could find the time, please write him a letter. Please pass on that recently, faith in the Scarlet King has taken root in Port Ormos and has begun to spread across Sumeru. He has a quick temper and has always been a devout follower of the Dendro Archon. I don't want him to get into a fight with those Scarlet King believers because of a difference in beliefs.
Oh? So, who are you siding with in all of this? The Academia or the Scarlet King? I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert, yet you chose to betray the Scarlet King, and now you spend all your time with those crooks from the Academia.
Akeem, you don't mean you've also become a believer of the Scarlet King?
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
Can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa! Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this!
You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of her. It might feel a bit overwhelming for Setaria. But once everything is over, I'll be sure to pay her a visit to her mind and explain everything. Anyway, let's keep going.
Come on! Setaria's already started talking with Shishan!
So, Shishan, have you noticed anything weird in the city lately? Like, as if someone was trying to preach to you about something?
Oh, right. Speaking of strange things, I celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival so many times that I lost count. That was really weird.
Wait, how could you be aware of that? That should be impossible. Nothing in the report indicated anything like that.
Are you still failing to realize that the Academia's lowly tricks could never deceive all of Sumeru's citizens?
Shishan, don't tell me that you've converted to the Scarlet King as well!
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of the Scarlet King. In reality, shouldn't you be the one who is ashamed? You, who worked side by side with the Academia, and treated people as nothing more than experimental subjects?
Please, please stop!
Even now, Setaria's still trying to run from her problems.
She can no longer justify everything to herself.
Hey, she's trying to talk to the guards! What should we do?
This is the most important part of all. Quick, get ready.
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct? Please help me pass a message to the Matcha right away. The situation in the city is getting out of control.
Please, try to remain calm, miss. Tell me what's happening in the city.
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics? What kind of heresy are you talking about?
The Scarlet King! Many people I know have suddenly started believing in him, but he's long dead. It's impossible.
Miss Setaria, nothing is impossible.
You know my name?
The Scarlet King is immortal, and all who defy him will one day pay the price. You must face the truth, Setaria. You tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the Academia's grasp on you will become, and the deeper you will be ensnared. Child of the Scarlet King, never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of the Scarlet King.
Setaria, why haven't you gone home?
It seems that no matter where I run, I only keep finding more believers of the Scarlet King. I have to say, this is a familiar feeling. I've also been running from my guilt this whole time. Guilt over my part in the Sage's plans, and from ignoring the letters from the children of my homeland. But no matter how much I may try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt always comes back.
You won't necessarily lose your research opportunities by facing the truth. Besides, did you really want to conduct your research while carrying such heavy feelings of guilt?
How do you know me so well? Are you truly just a believer of the Scarlet King? Or are you the god himself?
That's not important. The important thing is to pass judgment on the Academia and its sages, and to correct their mistakes. If you could provide some assistance in this matter, perhaps it could serve as a form of atonement.
I've actually never believed in the gods, but I've always believed in serendipity. Your appearance must be a fated opportunity for me to get out of this wretched situation. Please tell me, what can I do for you?
How much do you know about the Sage's current activities?
I was just one of the designers for the masked dream harvest scheme, which is what happened around the Sumeru's festival. But I know very little about the full scope of the overall project. I'd assume that only staff with the highest clearance would have access to those confidential documents. I've just been working to meet the Grand Sage's specified requirements. However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city, and even the sages are still quite wary of him.
To fight against the Academia, we will need to figure out the nature and the purpose of their work. Is there a way for us to get access to the confidential documents you mentioned?
It should be possible if we're willing to take some risks. After all, I'm an assistant to the Grand Sage, and I've been working on many tasks outside of the project. One thing, though, I won't be able to transfer the documents to you through the Akasha once I get my hands on them. The sages have always closely monitored all activities within the Akasha. Let me see... let's use the most primitive method. Send someone to pick up the documents tomorrow evening at the Academia entrance.
The Academia entrance? Wouldn't that be too conspicuous?
Don't worry about that. I assure you, this won't be a trap. I'm only suggesting this location because it'll draw more scrutiny for me to leave the Academia again. It'll be safest for me to distract the guards long enough to hand you the documents.
All right, I trust you.
So, if I were to successfully complete this task, would it mean I've atoned for my wrongdoings?
That'll depend on the judgment of the Dendro Archon.
The Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have endangered. As the God of Wisdom, she's also the one responsible for judging and guiding the scholars. Maybe it's time for me to find a god to believe in.
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to bring Sataria to our side!
The Traveler's execution was ingenious. She's the one who deserves all the praise. Well, now that we've made plans to meet again tomorrow evening, all we can do is pray for Sataria's mission to go off without a hitch.
Pray? But if we're going to pray to the gods, aren't we just praying to you? God of Wisdom and Guardian of the Scholars?
No. The truth is the true Guardian of Scholars. I've always believed that. Anyway, let's meet again tomorrow evening at the Adventurers Guild. That's right. I suppose I'm the other Catherine in your mind.
Shh! Mission tonight, so we need to protect Catherine's identity.
Yep, Paimon's right. We cannot fully rule out the chance that the meetup tonight is just a trap. If something were to happen, my existence may be the only trump card we'll be able to play. After all, the Academia should still be unable to confirm the existence of my consciousness in the outside world.
Yep, exactly! Just what Paimon Paimon was thinking. Anyway, enough about that. Let's just make sure to be on our guard. Off? What do you feel is off? It's the middle of the night. Of course it's quiet. You're not getting paranoid, are you?
No, I think she's right. It really is a lot quieter than usual. If you look around, there seems to be fewer people on the streets. I'm not sure if this is the case for the entire city, though.
Huh. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe Setaria figured out a way to not only distract the guards, but also to get everyone to go to sleep early, just so we can exchange the documents in peace.
I also can't quite figure out why things feel a little off. But now that we're here, let's go ahead and meet her as we planned.
Well, regardless, as long as you're here with us, Paimon feels a little safer. Huh. There really aren't many people out right now. Let's hope it'll be this quiet in front of the Academia, and that Setaria managed to distract all the guards. People doing here at this hour of the night?
Ah, the triumphant hero returns at last.
Dottore!
And to a rather spectacular welcome, even if I do say so myself.
You're the outcast, expelled from the Academia.
Indeed I am. Although these days they tend to call me the Doctor. If you're looking for your researcher friend, she has already been taken into confinement. With some basic caution, she could have discovered the listening device on her person. Clearly, she lacks the degree of rigor expected of a true scholar.
The people of Sumeru City. What have you done to them?
I simply made some minor adjustments to their Akasha terminals. Now they can deposit information directly into the subconscious. As you can see, all these lovely people now believe this traveler is a hero who has just saved the world. My experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
No, what should we do? These are all just regular people.
Leave now. You need to get out of here.
But that guy's a Fatui Harbinger. We can't just leave you here.
Nor can I abandon the people of Sumeru. Don't worry. We'll meet again outside of the city.
I see. You appear to have overridden their mental faculties with your own consciousness. To possess such a powerful mind, you must be the God of Wisdom.
Okay, Dottore is a villain. That motherfucker.
This should be fun
That is
enough.
a true villain. He's a hard out fucking.
Paimon needs to catch her breath first. Is the heater going to be okay? such a high-ranking one. That guy was number 2. So scary. He called himself the Doctor. Remember, Tainari told us about him. Sataria did say that someone who once got expelled from the Academia came back recently. And that even the sages are wary of him. Yep, sounds like she must have been talking about the Doctor. Yeah, now that the Doctor's in the picture, we're no longer just dealing with the Academia. They're in cahoots with the Fatui. But what are the Fatui after this time? Another Gnosis? Yeah, things would be a lot easier with Nahida's help. Nahida said we'll meet again outside of the city. But we can't just keep waiting around, right? You mean... Oh, right! Wasn't he invited by the sages to work on some project when we were staying with him in the Vidia Forest? That has to be the same project! Even though he turned it down at the time, he might still know something. There's no time to lose. Let's go to Gandharvaville.
Sheesh! Finally met Dottore, the Doctor. 2 of the Fatui Harbingers.
Hold it right there. A blonde-haired traveler and a floating fairy. We've got you, all right. Take a look around. You've fallen right into our trap.
Are you mercenaries from the Corps of 30? Did you come here to arrest us?
Corps of 30? We're nothing like those government lapdogs who don't even get scraps for their work. We are an elite brigade that commands the highest commission rate in all of Sumeru. We're here on the orders of a client known only as the Outcast.
The Outcast? An outcast from... But why wouldn't the Doctor just send the Fatui after us?
Still wasting time on idle chit-chat. We'll shut you up soon enough. Get them!
You're up, Traveler!
This is order. Gather!
Absorption test. Teamwork is dreamwork.
Need new punching bag.
Animal hypostasis emulation.
Stabilize.
Stand clear.
Let's light it up.
Access denied. It isn't over yet. Here comes reinforcements.
Going in.
Need.
That was pretty rough. Is that what elite mercenaries are like? Yeah, looks like we'll have to keep our guards up. But this doctor guy seems like a pretty tough to set up an ambush. Did he predict that we would try to find Tainari? Going up against smart people is tough. Anyway, let's keep going.
Next on the agenda... We're way behind schedule.
Oh, it's the Traveler and Paimon. What are you two doing back here?
Kale! It's nice to see you again! Are you doing alright?
To be honest, I'm not doing too well. My Elazar has been progressing at a faster rate lately. I'm finding it harder to complete more intricate tasks. As a result, Master Tighnari is taking me off the patrol schedule. He will only allow me to stay here and coordinate other people's tasks.
Oh, Kale! Speaking of Tighnari, did he go off on patrol? We're here to talk to him.
Oh, Master Tighnari? You just left the Avidia Forest a little while ago. He was headed to Party's DI.
Huh? He left? But isn't Tighnari always saying that he never wants to leave the Avidia Forest? He even turned down the Sage's invitation.
I thought it was weird too. Master Tighnari always prioritizes his work as a... No, I only found out that he left through a message he left behind. He... to leave in such a hard... I know that before he became a Forest Watcher, Master Tighnari...
A research base, huh? Gotta wonder what... Oh, we don't have a lot of time, so let's go look for him at Party's DI.
Don't worry, I'm fine. I'm used to living with Elazar by now.
Got it. Will do. You're okay. We were so worried about you. Hey, this was supposed to be a...
Actually, it's very smart of the Traveler to be wary of me right now. After all, plus, it's not like you could have known what happened after we split up, and I was even a pool of stagnant water after a torrential...
Paimon feels like only the real Nahida could come up with some...
Huh? But I wasn't trying to win your trust or...
Well, we understand that point.
When you left, I was still in the middle of restoring everyone's minds. Thankfully, when the doctor mentioned depositing information instead, he did something closer to creating hallucinations. Luckily, I managed to finish my restorations and mind jump away from him just as he was about to capture me.
Whew. What a relief. The doctor sure pulled out some hidden cards, but good thing we...
I wouldn't be relieved just yet. I gave away my true identity when I restored everyone's minds. Which also, the doctor is already an expert at modifying Akasha terminals. Maybe it's only...
Would that mean you'd no longer be able to jump between minds? Then, how do we stop him? He's still at the Academia, so it's possible he... Ugh. It feels like he's toying with us. What a nasty piece of work. Plus, the doctor's combat ability alone is apparently enough to make him worthy of being number 2 of the Fatui.
We shouldn't give up hope just yet. Let's try to find another way to attack this problem.
Actually, Nahida, how did you know we were trying to get to Party?
Yes, I have. I can see the Traveler's element. You didn't come here for sightseeing.
We're looking for a scholar we know.
Okay.
Next on the agenda... We're way behind schedule. Healthy body, healthy mind.
traveler? It is you!
Ah, the voice! It's Hypatia!
Ah, what a pleasant surprise!
Who's this?
She's a scholar we met in the Avidia Forest.
Oh, I see.
That's right, we're old friends. You've come at just the right time.
Hypatia, you're way too excited about this. Actually, wait, no. Did you already...
What do you think? My consciousness has already mapped...
You did it? Congratulations!
It's so exhilarating to share when my consciousness made contact with the gods. Ah.
That sounds incredible!
Oh, all right. Remember? I promised to help you understand. My current self has not only gained true insight, but I can even help you establish a direct
You can do that?
I've never heard of anything like that, but if you want...
Hold on. I brought some spirit borneo with me.
Where are you...
All right now. Hold my hand. I'll help you establish a pathway to connect your
Okay.
Ready?
It took 3 betrayals for me to finally understand. The world is just an elaborate tapestry of lies. My fury will never be quelled. The first to betray me was a god. My creator. My mother. Valuing strength above all, she saw no worth in me and I was discarded. The second was a human. My family. My friend. Consumed by fear, he saw me as an abomination. The third was one exactly like me. A hope for the future. A fledgling barely out of the nest. Powerless before his mortality, he broke his promise to me. Humans, they can't be trusted. And the gods fill me with pure loathing. So I said good riddance. I denounce the world and laugh in its face. My chest will never again be defiled by worldly filth. I will scrub away every last trace of human emotion. Then it will be empty, a blank slate, and ready to receive a supreme gnosis, brimming with pure divinity. There is no need to fear. The pain will be brief. Your era is coming to an end.
What was that? Did we actually just see the Baladier's memories? Everything matches what we know about him. But how is he connected to the divine consciousness that Hypatia was talking about?
You saw it, right? You felt it, right? Such a majestic god! Such a noble will! Such sublime emotion! Alas, shame. If only that which beats within my chest wasn't a filthy mortal heart. Oh, great and merciful God! Please grant me forgiveness and salvation!
Do you understand now? I'm afraid this is no Puripurna life, but rather...
Ah! You! Why are you so mean to me? I found divine wisdom.
Hypatia?
That's how I always thought Wait, have I... already lost my mind?
Now what? Oh no. Ah, the trailer. They touch tips! What the fuck is happening? There's too much information! Oh.
Okay, we finally lost him. Are you okay, Nahida? Wait, no. Something feels different. You're back!
Oh, the Traveler's back?
Nahida was controlling your body for a while. It seemed like she jumped over to you as an emergency measure right before the Catherine puppet was destroyed. After that, Kainari heard the commotion and came over. He helped us defeat the mercenaries and then he ran with us all the way here. What? You swapped places? You mean your consciousness also went into Nahida's body? Wait, then where is Nahida's consciousness? Where is she now?
I never imagined that an individual's consciousness could be transferred around like this. Had I not seen it with my own eyes, I would have never believed it. Also, while we were running, the consciousness in your body told me to pass on a message. The doctor has found a way to trap my consciousness. But even in a moonless night, a shower of
oh no! Nahida's trapped in this. Was that message all she left for us? It's pretty vague. Oh, that makes sense! Since the doctor captured her, she won't be able to say anything without him knowing. Even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still... Huh. Paimon knows the moon, illusions, and lies. Didn't Nahida use a starlight analogy before? It had something to do with Sataria. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. But she isn't with us anymore.
Paimon, you said Sanctuary of Surasthana. Does this mean that this...
Your guess is correct.
That's all right. A scholar's curiosity doesn't need to be appeased right away. I've spent some time with you, and it looks like the Dendro Archon's also on your side, so...
Thank you, Tainari. Oh, actually, we came here to ask you a question.
Ah, that. While I was indeed invited to join that project, the sages were always secretive about its scope. All I know is that that project has something to do with the restoration of Irminsul.
Huh? Did you see something when you were in Nahida's body? What?
Do you have any evidence? So that's what happened. That explains why Hypatia's symptoms were different from...
Tainari, did you leave the Avidia Fort?
I did. I noticed Hypatia's mental anomalies, but since her... If I didn't take action, Hypatia would have already been taken by the Matra to the desert. Now that you mention it, I knew the Academia has never... But I still didn't expect them to do something as arrogant as creating a new god. Looks like I made the right decision by not accepting the Doctor and the Balladeer. We have... From your description, I don't think they've completed their project. There may still be... But then... What is the connection?
Yeah, it feels like we're still nowhere close to figuring goals. Right, we've pretty much gone over everything we need to know, so we should head out.
I'll stay here for now. I still want to try a few more things to help Hypatia. If you're planning to go into the desert, start by heading for Caravan Rabat. Come find me here if there's anything else I can do to help.
Thanks, Tighnari. Hopefully Hypatia will feel better soon. We're off then.
Am I still in Act fucking 3? Sheesh! Alright, need to go to the caravan. Nibut! Rabat! Scaramouche is like a whiny child who doesn't get his way. Turn me into a god, that'll solve all my problems. It's more like run away from him.
We're way behind schedule.
Let me talk to some of these people real quick. Dun, 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 dun. I am the adventurers, yeah.
We finally made it to Caravan Rabat. It's pretty lively here. So, just past this wall is the desert, huh? Oh, wow. Paimon remembers hearing people call this the Wall of Samiel. It's made to block sandstorms from the outside. Oh, if it's...
Enough gawking. Come on, follow me.
Huh?
Over here.
Oh, Haytham went that way! Let's hurry up and follow him. Wonder what he's up to.
What the... Where did she go? How did we lose him?
More Eremite mercenaries? Who are they working for this time?
You were too careless. You should have noticed those hopeless amateurs trailing you a long time ago. There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to keep track of personal favors. All I did was correct a mistake I happened to come across. It's a habit I developed.
You really gave Paimon a scare, Al Haytham. We never thought we'd run into you here. Last time we met at Port Ormos, didn't you say you were going back to the Academia?
Oh, so you've already landed yourselves on the Academia's hit list. However, had I wished to turn you over to the Academia, don't you think...
Oh, right. You do have a point.
I have no interest in running errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that promotes researcher autonomy. And these days, you're more fascinating than anything the sages can offer. Not quite. To tell you the truth, I'm still investigating the divine... Everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually moved to Port Ormos. If I am to get to... Which brings me back to you, and why you're so interesting. The leader of Ain al-Ahmar used the divine knowledge capsule right in front of you, and upon seeing him, your expression became perplexed, and you were to have that kind of reaction, I think you must have realized something.
a ridiculous eye for detail. What kind of person even notices or remembers stuff?
So that's your answer. Well, but that does prove you do have some undisclosed information about the divine knowledge. No matter. Rather than simply learning the answers from you,
That's right! We have the same plan as you! But we don't really—
Then I'd suggest starting with Aru Village. It's the largest—
It's always better to try—
Let's walk to the desert, like our village. This story is getting darker.
Next on the agenda.
Cause I got fucking ripped to shreds.
We're way behind schedule.
How do you feel? Do you feel great? Cause I feel great. I feel so good. You tear me apart. I'm gonna try to set up a dendro.
There's still a long road ahead.
Trainee Forest Ranger Kale, reporting.
Our mission begins.
Sure.
Will we really be off work this early?
Huh?
Stabilize!
That tingle?
Nowhere to run!
I don't have it.
Propagate! Scatter!
Futile! Dodge! Surrender!
Before us lies Aru Village, the safe haven of the desert folk.
Whoa, this landscape is really something else. What a cool place! Let's go check it out!
Simon. Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before now at the Academia. Would you care to enlighten me as to when and how I invited the General Mahamatra's wrath?
Oh, Hatham. Do not think you can escape my judgment, just because you managed to escape my attack.
Judgment? So that's how you'd characterize your actions here, is it? Or would elimination perhaps be a more accurate description?
Had I used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me. Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to flee or resist. Standard practice for the Mach.
Like your own personal touch.
Who is that, Al-Hatham? Did you call him General Mahamatra?
Yes. General Mahamatra Sino, head of all the Matra at the Academia. He's a formidable hunter, and the ultimate nightmare for any who have committed academic crimes.
You seem to have placed a lot of trust in Al-Haytham, to the point of blocking an attack for him. If I were you, I'd never choose to side with him. I wouldn't believe a single word that comes out of his mouth. I have been pursuing this scribe for a long time. I urge you, stand back and do not seek to defend him any longer. Otherwise, there will be consequences.
Has Al-Haytham done something wrong? Paimon doesn't think he's as bad as you've made him out to be.
I won't waste my breath explaining things. Al-Haytham, I saw it during our fight. Take it out. The divine knowledge capsule you're hiding on your person. Unless you want me to retrieve it for myself.
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes Amatra's senses.
Wait, the divine knowledge capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormos?
No wonder you speak with such confidence, Sino. But I must admit, I'm very curious. What does this capsule mean to you? And why, as General Mahamatra of the Academia, are you all alone in the desert? As far as I'm aware, the other Matra have been speculating about your disappearance. Have you been given a mission that's, let's say, morally dubious? If I was the real target of your mission, what was stopping you from simply using your authority and resources to judge me within the walls of the Academia?
I should have known you'd be difficult to deal with.
You two! Ugh! What you would do?
Ahem. Well, look at you two, acting all tough and self-righteous over there.
Wait, Dia? Great! Finally, someone up! You gotta help us out here. Otherwise, these two...
Yeah, sure looks that way. Two giants from the Academia duking it out once and for all. Listen, I know you academic types love to fill up your big brains with self-righteous morality and lord your empty rules but how dare you bring your petty disputes into the safe... It seems like someone's gonna have to beat some sense into your thick skulls until you finally learn to respect these grounds. Hey, did either of you hear a...
Ooh, what's going on? The wind's so...
Another sandstorm? What's up with these recently?
Hey! All of you, over here, quickly! We have to take cover!
Someone's calling for us! Oh, this wind...
That sounded like Candace. Come on, you two! Jeez, are all of you...
All right, stop yelling.
Well, this is pretty... Hey, wanna play sardines with three people who wanna tear each other limb from limb? Sure, why not? Sounds fun. The air is so thick and heavy. Paimon can hardly keep floating any...
My sincere apologies, everyone. This is the home of our village chief. I will have to ask you to make do with this small room until the sandstorm dies down. Please, let me introduce myself. I am Candace, protector of Aru Village.
Our savior has come at last! Nice to meet you, Candace. The name's Paimon. Thank you...
There's no need to thank me.
Wow, she's so gentle and caring. Like a nice older sister. Unlike those guys over there.
All right. Now that we're all better acquainted, we should... As a guardian charged with the responsibility to protect my fellow villagers from harm, I was observing your conflict from afar. And now that you have set foot within our village itself, it is all the more my responsibility to make... So please, Have an honest and sincere conversation with one another. If anyone dares to start anything again while they are under this roof, I will not hesitate to send them out for some quality time with the creatures of the sandstorm.
Oh, on second thought, Paimon may have missed...
And that goes for you too, Miss Dia. Do I make myself clear?
All right, we got it, Candace.
That's what I like.
I was supposed to be a mediator, but might have gotten a little too involved just now. Anyway, one of those...
Wait, that was you...
I have nothing to hide, so there's no shame in explaining myself. While Al-Haytham wasn't wrong about the other Matra not knowing my whereabouts, it's not because I've been assigned a morally dubious mission. Rather, a little while ago, I discovered that there was data missing in the Academia's project planning, and as General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority to request an audit. However, to my surprise, I tried to investigate the issue myself before submitting a formal audit request. But I began to realize that, unsurprisingly, the Grand Sage rejected my audit request as soon as the power of the General Mahamatra is granted by the Sages. I realized then that to the Grand Sage, the Matra are the vows that we took, the principles that we strive to uphold, they are meaningless to the Academia of today. I believed it would be wise to flee the Academia before the Sages had a chance to take action against me. This way, I will never give up on this investigation. There's no need for someone else to give me power or authority.
Sino seems to have the same goal as us. Plus, now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra, he somehow feels a lot like... Well, Sino, if that's your story, then...
When I was investigating the matter in the Academia, I overheard a conversation between Al-Haytham and a sage. The sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler.
What?
Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now throw in your suspicious behavior with the Divine Knowledge Capsule.
Yes. I was indeed tasked with investigating the traveler.
Al-Haytham!
After all, the promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage told me, once you've completed this assignment, I can give you a glimpse of divine knowledge.
A most enticing offer.
Unfortunately, those academics don't know me at all. Their words contained one key piece of information. Namely that, from my perspective, the sages are far from trustworthy. Think about it. Isn't it a little strange? So, I began my own investigation following the lead of the Divine Knowledge Capsule. In the end, I realized my wisdom in committing to this rather than collaborating with the sages. Had I been less guarded, I probably would have ended up like that Ain al-Ahmar mercenary, incapable of remaining sane for long enough to hold a conversation.
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you, using one of those capsules that drive people insane?
I'd already given up on the assignment by then. I only told the Academia I was waiting in Port Ormos for you to appear so they wouldn't suspect anything. So it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile target while investigating the Divine Knowledge Capsule.
Criminals do love to talk about coincidences.
Even though I ran into the Traveler by chance, I had no intention of providing assistance to the Academia. Also, you should remember, you were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that tavern.
That's true. Al-Haytham helped us out at Caravan Rebat as well. Maybe he's telling the truth.
I'm willing to apologize, if that's worth anything to you. I took the Divine Knowledge Capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a significant risk. I felt that it would be best for no one to interact with it before it had been properly studied. After all, curiosity often proves to be the most dangerous thing in this land.
You should be well aware, Scribe Al-Haytham, that curiosity can also lead you to danger and suspicion. Answer me this. Did the sages share any information about their project with you?
Have I not made myself clear? You and I are both distrusted by the academia. Do you really think they would tell me anything?
Fine. Although you haven't completely proven your innocence, I won't regard you as an enemy, for now.
As you wish.
Good. I'm glad to see you two clearing up your misunderstandings. And now you, Dia. I believe it's your turn.
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boys were talking about must have been so boring that I spaced out. My situation is pretty straightforward. My employer, Dunyarzad of the Homayani family, is friends with the Traveler and is currently recovering from her illness at home. I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to Aru village for a visit. I was actually looking forward to a pretty exciting time getting back together with everyone here. But then I saw these two random guys in the middle of a pointless argument. It ticked me off, and things went downhill from there.
Is that all? Well, I will admit that definitely sounds like your style. In that case, welcome back, Dia.
That's more like it. I missed you all so much, Candace.
Whoa! What was that sound?
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats, please make yourselves at home. I'll take a quick trip outside to clear out some of those creatures in the sandstorm.
Creatures? In the sandstorm? Are you sure you don't want some backup?
Fighting in a sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted. Anyone without extensive training in these conditions is at a disadvantage. You needn't worry.
Yeah, just leave him to Candace. Don't worry, she's as tough as they come.
Welcome to
the
the
winds
stream.
died down. That means the sandstorm's over, right? Candace still isn't back yet, though. Is she alright? Maybe we should go out and check on her.
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little
Hey,
worried.
what up, Arliss Knights?
All
How
right,
you doing, man?
let's go. We've been here long enough, and the boys are
Story's
as
getting
chatty as the
crazy.
floor.
Let's see what's happening outside. Rift Hounds, huh?
Oh, Candace, you're still fighting? You've been out here dealing with these creatures the entire time?
Yes. They just keep coming in waves. I've lost count of how many I've defeated. Before I realized it, even the sandstorm had stopped.
Ah! Here comes another wave!
Leave this round to us. I got interrupted earlier, but now I have something to take my anger out on.
It's been quite a while since I've seen the Flame Mane in action. I'll leave these to you then.
I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go!
This is order. Solidify.
Fight this officer! Spring form!
Judgment is upon you.
Here comes another wave! When are they ever gonna let up? The creature stopped appearing. Was that the last of them?
I like this little picture. It got a lot of unique characters. Right
What we fought just now was probably the aftermath of the sandstorm. So we should be safe for the time being.
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
Huh? Who are you?
Ah, my apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I had my hands full taking care of the village's elderly and children. I am the chief of Aru village. Everyone usually calls me Uncle Anpu.
Sir, I am also originally from the desert, but I have not been back for some time now. May I ask if such sandstorms are common?
I can't say they've always been common, but recently the storms have become increasingly severe and frequent. Besides sandstorms, we also occasionally get earthquakes. According to an investigator who stayed in the village a while ago, these unusual natural phenomena are related to the withering of Irminsul.
Another effect of Irminsul's withering. So, Irminsul's withering causes withering zones in the forest, and sandstorms and earthquakes here in the desert?
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul. These regional symptoms can indeed be a reflection of Irminsul's present state.
Everyone in Aru village needs to take good care of themselves. Speaking of which, why haven't I seen a single village keeper since I got here?
Village keeper? Who are they? Village guards like Candace?
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village Keeper is how Aru village refers to mad scholars, exiled here by the Academia. Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity after a period of training in the Avidia forest. The Academia believes that their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of other scholars. So, they're forcibly exiled to the desert. Though if you ask me, it's all a boatload of nonsense.
Alas, that's exactly what we've been trying to investigate. One by one, the village keepers have been mysteriously disappearing without a trace. But no one in the village has ever seen them leave. If you're planning to stay around the village for the next few days, I'd appreciate it if you could keep an eye out for them.
I've had encounters with those people in the past. I'll see what I can do to help.
The Matra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer with them, are you trying to alleviate your guilt and atone for your past sins? I'm fascinated.
Mock me if you will, but if you are guilty, I will eliminate you, regardless of my position or identity.
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra. You must be an expert in these kinds of investigations. Thank you for your help.
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? Oh, these poor scholars. First they lose their sanity, now this! We need to help get them back home, safe and sound. But, is it really a good idea to tag along with Sino? You seem like you really don't trust him.
I'll be grateful for the assistance. No doubt you will do a better job than some of my former subordinates. Let's start by finding a spot to share what we know so far.
Futile!
Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially the same things as before. Do you still have any questions for me before we start our investigation? One of my former subordinates told me that this type, the Academia, when Mad Scott initially, the Aru village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory. Seeing Bill, suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a corner, caressing the ground with his hands. A soft, green, despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night. All the houses were after that. The people of Aru village treated the mad scholars with greater kindness, and began to refer—
A soft green light? A mad scholar protect— Paimon thinks so too! Actually, Sino, do you know of any—
In theory, they would continue wearing them so the academia—
Oh, no wonder! Everything makes sense then!
If you are able to draw a conclusion from this one story alone. So, what do you make of the story? Really? Lesser Lord Kusanali.
What? You don't believe us? Lesser Lord Kusanali was—
No, it's not so much that I don't believe you. Lesser Lord Kusanali, the current Dendro Archon. The Academia has always placed far greater importance on the late Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. In addition—
No way! Nahida definitely exists! She's a— how should Paimon put it? She's a good Archon who's kind and wise!
I've spent many years interrogating criminals.
Good! Then you should know that!
That look in your eyes. How can this be? To think.
Alright, now it's our turn to put our skills to— but easier said than done. Especially since we don't have any leads.
Excuse me, are you here to—
Huh?
By the sounds of it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isak.
Is your grandpa mad?
Hey, don't say that. Grandpa is just Grandpa.
The person you're referring to is not a local. Yet you—
Grandpa is just Grandpa. I heard everything you said to the village chief.
Ah, so you're the one who was eavesdropping on— I was planning to go out and take care of whoever it was.
Whoa. Hatham wasn't kidding about Matra having sharp senses. Sino, he's just a kid. All he wants is to find his grandpa.
Sorry. I was only listening in because I wanted to know where Grandpa—
All right.
Don't even think about it. Sumpter beasts are meant for transporting goods.
Sino is super vigilant.
Ah, you're back already.
We just wanted to confirm something with you.
I had—
Huh? You knew this would happen?
Yes. Although he tried his best to stay hidden. Isak's parents were both Aramite mercenaries who rarely returned to the village after finding employment in the city. Unfortunately, it was only a few years before his grandpa passed away. Isak was still very— Later, an elderly mad scholar arrived at the village. Isak thought the scholar bored— However, the scholar was unkempt in appearance and incoherent in speech. Although Isak referred to the man as his grandpa, one summer night, the oft mumbling and bumbling grandpa suddenly calmed down and seemed to become more lucid. So Grandpa walked up to Isak and patted him on the head. He even took Isak to the entrance of the village, where he patiently taught the boy the names of the stars. The next morning, Isak woke up and wanted to go find his grandpa again. Only to— It's said that those who saw the scholar claimed he no longer appeared to be crazy, but appeared to be living in a— Isak was thrilled that his grandpa was able to find peace, and would follow him all the time, asking him things like, "Grandpa, Want me to take you somewhere fun, or...
All this somehow just makes Paimon feel really sad.
Perhaps. Nearly everyone who lives in the desert has... It's also my reason for fighting.
Maybe the people have always had a considerate god watching over them.
Huh? What?
No, nothing. As long as Esau keeps his word and doesn't get in our way, we can take him along.
Perhaps you are more compassionate than I gave you credit for.
Hey, Isak!
Oh, it's you guys!
We've cleared everything up!
Really? Yeah!
Alright. Let's ask the local residents some questions first.
Oh my god, I finally finished Act 3. Sheesh. Go ahead and wrap up the stream by making a condensed resin and turning in my daily commission.
Ad Astra. Thank you for
To know more about...
Ad Astra.
Alright, see y'all in the next stream, which will probably be Act 4.